Hey guys, HuzzyGames bringing you another video, and welcome to a new, well, not new champion video, but a new rework champion video. So thank you very much for Riot for inviting me to the dev meeting. So I was involved in the dev meeting a few days ago. So they had I've actually got like a thing over on the left so I can tell you guys who I had. We had the product lead, the designer, the narrative lead, I think, and the art guy involved with the meeting. So those are the four main people involved in the creation of the new Udyr. Again, if you don't obviously know, they do occasional big reworks like this, where I will say just straight away, Udyr, or this version of Udyr, he's a very much a complete spiritual successor to current Udyr. He is pretty similar, and it is realistically one of those reworks that is just a fresh coat of paint. It's very much kind of the same thing. It'll be hitting the same strides. And I'll just say straight away, one of the questions I actually asked the devs was, if you're an Udyr player, will you like the new version? And with all the testing that they've done, they had even Trick2G come in or gave him access to the champion early. They had other Udyr players play him, and they said all of them seemed to like it. So that is something to say. If you're an Udyr player, then you should like it. He does have a little bit more skill expression, and you'll see that throughout a little bit, but nothing major. So what I'll do, as always, I will bring up the clip with audio. I'll play the audio once or twice, and then after that, I'll then explain what the ability does. But as always, if you guys enjoy these videos, do throw a like on them, throw a comment down below. What do you think of the champion? And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. Generally, again, if this is brand new, first time ever on the channel seeing this, I'm right now a master level EU West player. I predominantly play mid and support, but I am thinking of getting back into the jungle a little bit. I used to main jungle, I used to main top. And yeah, I'm very fortunate to get invited to the dev meetings for any new champions or reworks. I've been around League of Legends for a long time, I guess. So it's a really nice thing to do and have access to make this video. So this video will be launching the exact same time that the official ability reveal is out. Trick2G did get special permission to upload a few things early. And obviously, I'll be playing him on the PBE and bringing that content to you as quick as I can. So anyway, let's get into it, where his passive is called Bridge Between. So that is Bridge Between, quite a long clip there, and you're kind of getting a little bit of a show of all the different forms, because yes, he still is keeping the forms. But Bridge Between is the passive, and it has two different parts. One's called Awakened Spirit, and that is Udyr has 4 basic ability stances, each related to a Freljordian demigod. Every 30 seconds, he can awaken his active stance by recasting it to refresh it and gain bonus effects. We'll obviously find out what those are later. And the second half of it is called Monk Training, and that is after casting, or in brackets, recasting an ability, Udyr's next 2 attacks gain 40% basic attack speed. So again, very similar to what it used to be. You know, he has the 4 stances. I'm pretty sure this passive used to be called like, Aspect of the Monkey, and he used to gain attack speed after casting one of his forms. Obviously, the new part is he can actually awaken each form, making it a slightly bigger, you know, a power spike within each form. So that is the passive. Next, get into the Q, which is, I think, again, they've given me a bit of a weird file here, but it's called Wildling Claw, but it's called Claw Stance. I remember them telling us it's called Claw Stance, but anyway, that is that. So obviously it looks really cool. So if you can't tell already, you know, just by the first ability, you probably will be able to see some other champions within the new Udyr. So this is obviously very much inspired by Volibear. And that's kind of the whole point of the new Udyr, is he's embracing the demigods of Freljord. So Volibear is the big lightning bear god. So this is, he goes into Claw Stance, gives him attack speed, and the next 2 attacks deal burst damage. And then when he awakens the Q, which obviously you're seeing when it goes a bit crazy, kind of like Super Saiyan, is its increased attack speed, and then plus the next 2 attacks, Arc Lightning, that bounce up to 6 times, and that can hit the same target multiple times if they are isolated. So it's actually it's a powerful AoE ability, but it's also a very powerful solo ability, because they'll be getting all of the lightning will be hitting that same player. So obviously this is similar to what obviously Tiger's stance used to be. It's just realistically a better version. As for the scaling, etc., we don't have access to that right now. Obviously, when he goes on PBE, all of that stuff will be officially all released. But next, get into the W, which is Iron Mantle. So that is Iron Mantle, which obviously used to be Turtle stance. And if for those that are wondering, like, what champion is this? So this is the demigod Freljordian that is not currently a champion within League of Legends. They did, you know, I don't think they'll mind me saying, I'm in the dev meeting, I'm allowed to talk about it. They weren't, they were a bit like hesitant to talk about this champion a bit. The lead, the project lead basically was talking at the time of us like, can't talk about this too much, and she was like, I don't know if it's going to be a champion in the future, but you never know. I'd say it's pretty likely that eventually this boar, I think it's supposed to be, would maybe become a champion in League. Like, why wouldn't it? So Iron Mantle, though, is Udyr goes into a Mantle stance, he gains a shield, and the next 2 attacks restore health. And the Awakened version is it refreshes the shield, it stacks it as well. So if you press W and then you still have that shield, you can stack it, and then recover a large amount of max health over 2 seconds. So it's like a mini Dr. Mundo ultimate, basically, that you're actually shielding, which Mundo doesn't have, but then you're just gaining health back directly. So again, as we're kind of seeing here, it's pretty much a more powerful version of what Turtle Stance used to be. And for those that are like a bit concerned, going like, does he need all these kind of technical buffs? Udyr is a very basic champion. I don't think there's any, questions about that. And what a lot of these reworks do is to try and give them, let's be honest, modern power. They don't have modern power. They're an old, very basic champion. And a lot of, if you could just compare new champions to old champions, it's a clear night and day difference in terms of how much they can do and how much power they have. So that's what these reworks do, is it is giving more power directly to the champion. So anyway, next one is Blazing Stampede is his E. So obviously this one is quite easily inspired by Ornn. So, he's literally got like the antlers or whatever of the ram kind of on his shoulders there. So this is Blazing Stampede, is Udyr goes into Stampede stance, gains a burst of movement speed, and while in this stance, his first attack against each target stuns them. And then the Awakened version is he gets increased movement speed, and then he gains CC immunity for a brief amount of time. So again, this is literally a pretty good, better version of Bear Stance. Now, the only thing I would say it doesn't look to have exactly is a little while ago, a year or two ago, they tried to help Udyr out by giving the Bear Stance a small little dash to try and close gaps where he couldn't really before. This does it a little bit, but I don't think it does as much, obviously, as Bear Stance does. But I think it's overall a stronger ability. The CC immunity is absolutely mad for like a champion like Udyr. He's a very much a run in, and you can just CC him, But here you can't. It's like a mini Olaf in a way. Or let's be honest, it's like a mini Ornn. I think Ornn during his W can't get CC'd, so that's what this is channeling as well. And then let's finally, which probably isn't a surprise to a lot of people, going on to my favorite form, and this is Wingborn Storm. So there we go. So basically, yep, Udyr's Anivia cosplaying realistically. So I was, you know, you can probably tell why it's my favorite. For those that don't know, one of my mains at the moment is Anivia. I've peaked like rank 6 in the world on the champion, so I very much like Anivia. And yeah, this is very much embracing her. So Udyr goes into Storm stance, summons a Glacial Storm, damaging and slowing nearby enemies, and the next 2 attacks increase the Storm's AoE. And then the Awakened version is the Storm detaches from Udyr and tracks to the enemy he most recently attacked, and it does more damage when it's awakened as well. So realistically, the Awakened version is, think of Anivia and Victor combined, and that is what that is. It is worth knowing, the only thing I do know about this when it comes to scaling, etc., is they did mention this one is the ability power one. So if you wanted to build Udyr full AP, you max R and it will do full AP damage. I'd imagine it's probably got pretty powerful scaling as well, because he's a melee champion that's not realistically designed to go full AP. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if it was a 1-to-1 scaling. Obviously, I don't know that, but it wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, I think that's really cool. I think it's a bit unique, and it's you know, it's weird. It's unique, but not unique at the same time, if that rings a bell, because it's literally another champion he's kind of embracing. He's embracing Anivia, but I just quite like it. I think it's kind of odd in some ways. And then the other things just to really mention, by the way, so that's the abilities. So let me know what you think of them down below. The only things just to mention was in the dev Q&A. I couldn't stay for the whole Q&A, but I did ask a couple questions and stuff like that. And obviously, one of the biggest delays with the champion was the ultimate skin. A champion that's got an ultimate skin, it's like a $30, maybe even more skin. So that was a big delay of what stopped this champion being quicker in release. Just to mention that skin is staying in his original forms, if that makes sense. So all of his forms are pretty reminiscent of what they used to be. So if you loved the old forms, tiger form, phoenix form, bear form, etc., then if you have Spirit Guard Udyr, when you use that skin on new Udyr, it still will be tiger form, it still will be phoenix form and bear form and turtle stance. That is that skin. They've kept that like original, which I think is kind of cool. And then every other skin has been updated. So there's that. So just to mention some key dates, which again, I'm allowed to kind of announce. So am I allowed to announce? So yeah, gameplay trailer, champion theme video. So yeah, August 9th, which will be when this video is being uploaded, is the PBE and ability rundown. That's when this is happening. And then the VGU goes live. So it'll be on PBE, I guess, for 2 weeks. So August 23rd is when he'll be hitting live servers. And then the day after is when they'll do like a gameplay report of obviously what they feel about the champion. As always, they don't really use the PBE for balance. So we will play the champion. Already, some people I know think he looks weak from a video that Trick2G made when he got invited to play the champion. Obviously, just remember, like, that is more just for the gameplay experience. A champion like Udyr, his abilities are what they are, and how good and bad they are is literally just determined by numbers. He's more of a stat check champion than anything else, so he can easily get buffed. And the funny thing, he's a type of champion that if his stats are too strong, he's obnoxiously strong, because, you know, there isn't exactly like a skill shot you have to land. He's more just running, if you can't kill me, I'll kill you. So don't be too concerned if he's on the PBE, and either way, if he's too strong or too weak, he's going to be pretty, I would say, he's going to be pretty easy to balance. The only thing that Udyr is historically a problem sometimes for the devs is the combination of he's too tanky but also deals quite a lot of base damage. So we'll see if this new Udyr has that as well. But realistically, he's designed to be exactly the same as what he currently is. He's designed to be a tank jungler, engaged tank jungler, kind of an annoying one in some avenues that he is about weaving in and out, being fast, slipping away. That's still what this one's all about. It's just a little bit more skill expression because he's got the awakened forms, and timing those correctly of when you want to use them at the right time is going to be key to being successful on the new Udyr. Especially if you go for that Phoenix one in the middle of a team fight, you could literally be slowing the whole enemy team as an Udyr. There's never something he's been able to do before. So honestly, pretty cool. I'm on board with it. I don't know if I'm the only one. I don't think so, but I personally get more excited for champion reworks than new champions, because most of the time, rework, they are usually more balanced, and they are akin to an old champion who just needs a bit of help. Where new champions, we all know, they're just sometimes a little bit too crazy. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, please, again, do hit the like button. Please do comment down below what you guys think. And if you haven't, please consider subscribing, as hopefully you enjoyed the content. But anyway, that's going to be it. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace. Restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power.